Imagine spending your entire life in search of pleasure, convinced that happiness lies at the end of every pleasurable experience. What if I told you that this very pursuit might be your biggest obstacle to achieving that very same happiness? Welcome to our exploration of the shadow self and its influence on our relentless chase for pleasure. Carl Jung, the renowned psychoanalyst, proposed that our personality is composed of three parts: the persona, the shadow, and the self. The persona is the mask or role we present to the world. The self is our true essence, our ideal of what we want to be. And the shadow is the dark side of our personality, containing all the qualities we reject as unacceptable, often because they resemble our inferior or undeveloped functions. Jung believed that the shadow self develops during childhood, when we are forced to repress certain unacceptable impulses and desires to conform to societal norms and expectations. These rejected parts of ourselves then reside in our unconscious mind, influencing our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in ways we may not even be aware of. Now let's delve into the concept of animus and anima. Jung used these terms to describe the unconscious feminine and masculine qualities within each of us respectively. For instance, a man's anima represents his inner woman or feminine qualities, while a woman's animus embodies her inner man or masculine qualities. These archetypes are not merely about gender roles, but rather represent different ways of perceiving and interacting with the world. The anima and animus can significantly influence our relationships and behaviors, sometimes leading to misunderstandings and conflicts if not properly understood and integrated into our conscious personality. The next term we need to understand is libido. Jung viewed libido not just as sexual desire, but as psychic energy driving all human behavior. Our libido can be channeled into various activities, such as work, hobbies, or relationships. However, when it comes to matters of sex, Jung had a unique perspective. He believed that sexual desire arises from the interaction between our conscious and unconscious selves, particularly in relation to our shadow. This means that our sexual impulses are not merely about satisfying physical needs, but also about expressing and integrating our shadow aspects. In today's society, there is a growing trend towards instant gratification, often without regard for the deeper psychological implications. People engage in casual flings and multiple relationships, sometimes seeking to fulfill unmet emotional needs through sexual experiences. But according to Jungian psychology, this approach can lead to a distorted sense of self and a failure to achieve true satisfaction. The concept of wholeness is central to Jungian psychology. Jung believed that our ultimate goal in life is to achieve wholeness by integrating our shadow, anima, animus, and libido into our conscious personality. When we repress certain parts of ourselves or refuse to acknowledge their influence, we become incomplete or partial individuals. Wholeness means accepting all aspects of ourselves, including those we may deem negative or unacceptable. It is only when we embrace our shadow self, with all its complexities and contradictions, that we can achieve a sense of completeness and fulfillment. So now let's explore how our shadow self influences our pursuit of pleasure. The shadow contains all the qualities we have repressed or rejected, including those related to sexuality. In today's society, we often find it difficult to acknowledge our shadow aspects, especially those related to sex. We may have grown up with certain beliefs or restrictions regarding sexuality, leading us to develop rigid ideas about what is considered acceptable or unacceptable sexual behavior. As a result, we may unconsciously shape our persona to conform to societal norms, hiding our true desires and impulses from both ourselves and others. By doing so, we effectively distance ourselves from our authentic selves, preventing us from achieving wholeness. Instead, we may turn to casual flings or multiple partners in an attempt to explore our sexuality without fully embracing the experience. This avoidance of our shadow self and its influence leads to a fragmented sense of identity and a feeling of incompleteness. According to Jung, the process of integrating our shadow is essential for personal growth and achieving wholeness. When we refuse to acknowledge and accept our shadow aspects, they manifest in our relationships and experiences in negative ways. Our relationships may become strained due to a lack of authenticity and vulnerability, and we may find ourselves constantly seeking new experiences without ever feeling truly satisfied. In fact, Jung suggested that our pursuit of pleasure often stems from a desire to escape from the pain and suffering caused by our fragmented selves. We may throw ourselves into work, hobbies, or pleasure-seeking behaviors to avoid confronting our inner conflicts and shadow aspects. However, this only provides temporary relief and ultimately leaves us feeling more lost and disconnected. But here's where things get really interesting. Jung believed that our pursuit of pleasure is not just about escaping from pain, but also about seeking wholeness. When we dive into new experiences and relationships, we are essentially searching for the missing pieces of ourselves that we have repressed or rejected. We may not be consciously aware of this, but on a deeper, more instinctual level, our psyche is guiding us toward wholeness. However, this journey can be challenging and even painful. As we confront our shadow aspects, we must also face the unresolved conflicts and traumas that lie within. Only by embracing these difficult emotions and integrating them into our conscious personality can we achieve true wholeness and fulfillment. In Jungian terms, this process of integrating our shadow and achieving wholeness is called individuation. It is a lifelong journey that requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront our deepest fears and desires. Individuation is not a passive process, but an active one that involves making conscious choices about who we want to be and what we want to create in our lives. For example, let's say you notice a pattern of being attracted to partners who treat you poorly. By acknowledging this pattern and exploring the underlying causes, you can begin to heal old wounds and integrate those aspects of yourself. Through this process, you may discover that you have the tendency to self-sabotage your relationships due to a fear of intimacy or a need for control. By becoming aware of these patterns and thought processes, you can start to break free from them and create healthier relationships. Similarly, if you find yourself constantly drawn to risky or impulsive behaviors, you may be subconsciously seeking to integrate your shadow aspects related to danger and excitement. By facing your fears and integrating those parts of yourself, you can find a healthy balance between risk and responsibility, creating a more complete and fulfilling life. It is important to note that Jungian psychology does not promote reckless abandon in pursuing pleasure or justification for harmful behaviors. Rather, it encourages self-reflection and personal growth through understanding the complexities of our psyche. By acknowledging and integrating our shadow aspects, we can strive for wholeness and lead more authentic and fulfilling lives. Have you ever found yourself questioning the meaning of pleasure and happiness? How do you think Jung's theories on the shadow self might apply to your own life experiences? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about Jungian psychology, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And if you feel inspired, share this video with others who may find value in Jung's teachings. Together, let's continue to explore the depths of our psyche and strive for greater self-understanding and growth. As we come to the end of this journey into Jungian psychology and the shadow self, remember that you hold immense power within you to shape your own destiny. By embracing the wisdom of Jung's teachings and applying them to your life, you can transform your challenges into opportunities for growth. Your shadow self, with all its complexities and contradictions, is not something to be feared, but rather embraced as a source of strength and authenticity. As always, we would love to hear from you. Have you had any experiences where you recognize the influence of your shadow self in your pursuit of pleasure? Share your stories in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation together. And before we part ways, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and join our community of seekers and learners. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on new videos that delve into the fascinating world of psychology, spirituality, and personal growth. Let us embark on this transformative journey together and unlock the infinite potential that lies within each and every one of us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and above all, keep embracing the shadow, for it holds the key to your wholeness and happiness.